open skies is what you agree. Now, if they don't, let's just say for a second the EU didn't agree to do open skies, all right? That means all the routes across the Atlantic are shut to them. They can't fly to New York on the polar routes, on the northern routes, because we control. You know that the CAA, outside of the EU, is the third largest aviation authority in the world. It dwarfs the EU. It controls probably about 70% of the EU's flying. So the idea that somehow it's us that's out begging for a flying deal is absurd.
Yeah.
And the idea that the Irish Taoiseach said the other day, I'm going to shut our airports. Do you really? Well, where the hell's he going to fly to?
I mean, look,
So, okay,
for the sake of
let me just finish. Let me just finish. It's important because I've made a few points,
Yeah.
which is always whipped up about this. I don't want us necessarily to just end up at WTO. I think it's wholly feasible for the EU, if they're sensible, to want to reach an agreement about how our trade works that benefits them. Bear in mind that we run a £100 billion pound a year deficit in trade, so they are better off than we are in those trade arrangements. And it's important for them, therefore, not to destroy both their ports and their own jobs and livelihoods. And I think all of this at the moment, there's a lot of posturing going on. The French are desperate to try and make it as difficult as possible. But I think there are many other countries involved in this that will actually say, look, we need to reach an agreement. And I think to that extent, Dominic Raab is right when he says the ball is in the EU's